We on another one. Yep, we on another one. Here we go again. Here we go again. Yeah, here we go. A lot of things to try to talk about, Try to clear this thing up. We got to clear up this boxing thing. Salute to all of you. I'll wait around a little bit. Wait till you get in. Boxing junkies. Can't get enough of boxing. Can't get enough of boxing talk. Boxing perspectives. Can't get enough of it. So, since you can't get enough of it, here come a little bit more. There you go. Can't get enough of the boxing, so yeah, we talk a little bit more. And we'll see like a live perspective, I put out a couple of short little videos, but we got to talk about some other things besides just the big fight, which was an actual fight, and we're gonna do some breakdowns. You know how we do it in here. I got to do these breakdowns, man. We're not gonna just do the breakdown of what you thought was going on. We're gonna do the breakdown in what was captured. And I think I have enough information on things that was captured to, strike up a good conversation about it. Because back to what we were saying, I told you pictures don't speak to me, but I was just being sarcastic. You know what that means, though. So a picture speaks 1,000 words. So we got probably 1,000 words, so we probably got at least 18,000 words to go over. So let's look at it like that. If you guys can see me, let me know, because the thing is already skipping, and I don't know what has to happen. Gil Cole said, "Salute, salute to you, Gil Cole." He said, "I need some answers." Yeah, we're gonna get the answers once I show you guys I'll show you guys I'll show you a lot of little stop actions and stuff, and we'll break down the stop actions, because where people get stuff misconstrued is they look at anything that's aggressive, they're counting, and they're not thinking. And to be honest, the two judges that had they scored for Spence, guess what? My score was like identical. My live score was like identical to theirs. So either those two judges and me just didn't see the fight, or, I don't know. I can't answer it because like I said, I'm not looking at for any one person. Because believe it or not, I gave Sean the second round, so I couldn't I wouldn't have gave it to him if I was just thinking, oh, Spencer's dominating or whatever like that. But the first round, I just want somebody to explain to me how they even gave that to Sean, or how they gave it to anybody, the first round. And that might have caused a whole lot of controversy in everybody else's score. And that's why I gave you guys those 18 points. If you looked at those 18 physical points, there's no way you couldn't even have gave the round to anybody. You're like, I can't even give it to you, And and that's why you have to look. But besides that fight, I've seen some things that I was not expecting to see at a live event between boxers. Well, Gil Close, you're gonna keep saying that, and I'm gonna tell you that you take it wrong when I say he's a club fighter, because I gave him a graduation of a club fighter, right? Because he moved to Vegas, so he graduated. He's a graduated club fighter, but he's plus. It's like it's a plus. It's not actually a bad thing. It just doesn't sound good because I said club fighter. See, and that's what. Well, look. You don't lose two straps. If you're an elite, you don't lose one strap and then lose another strap. Simple as that. I'm sorry. So you can say what you want to, but if you're an elite fighter, if you're a championship caliber fighter, you don't lose like that. Now I'm not saying he's not championship caliber per se, but he's not elite, or he's not the top championship caliber. But if he would have fought any of those other so-called champ, if he would have fought Crawford, he would have won. If he would have fought Danny, he would have won. If he would have fought Keith, he would have won. And that's saying something. That's saying something, for him. He would have won. The only person he wouldn't have won against is the person that he didn't win against. And that's Earl. He wouldn't have won that fight no matter what. And he did the most preparation, and anybody can say if they want to. He's been getting in shape for a long time for that fight, way before the fight. He slightly overtrained for it. Okay, well, just cause, people see, there you go again, Gil, you throwing stupid stuff out there. See? And I'm not going to make this chat is not going to be about you, because I'll unmod you and smash you. I'll hide you. Because you're saying stuff that everybody knows. He's a 2-time champ. How long did he hold his belts, though? There's a lot of fighters that's 2-time champs and stuff like that. Or even champs that only held their belt for one go. One go round. Anthony Joshua was a champ, right? He's not a champ no more, because what happened is he ended up fighting. What he end up. No, it don't matter if Keith beat him. I'm talking about that Keith would not have beat that same Sean right there. Keith wouldn't have beat him. And Keith just lost to Manny. We already know that. Keith lost to Manny. You know what I mean? Just listen in, man. You're gonna learn something. You're one of my slow students, but you're good. You're gonna learn, man. But I've seen a lot of things during some of those fights. It was too many fights, man. They can't even put them all on TV. It was just way too many fights, man. So you could only bear looking at a little bit of some of the fights. You had to wait till the last, 2-3 fights before you actually sit there. I'm not that much of to just sit there and watch somebody just, going around the ring and they not really getting it done like they should. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now that the fight with John Molina, oh my goodness, that wasn't even a sparring match. And I don't know how they glamorize it. It's for you guys, if you watch it on television, I don't know how they glamorize it and make it look like it was a fight, but that was not a fight. That was less than a sparring match between both fighters. Believe me, they both cannot fight. They cannot fight, either one of them. They cannot fight. They cannot. Believe me, they cannot fight. They can't. As soon as they run into a real one, it is over with. Now, John Molina don't even have to run into a real one the way he was fighting. That was paycheck. He was fighting for a paycheck. That's all he was fighting for, was a paycheck. No, if Earl loses, you could look. Anything can happen, Gil Coles. You're just trying to make an argument. You're trying to make a winning argument that you're not ever going to win at. See, that's the sad part about it, is you're trying to come up with a winning argument that you're just not going to win. I see you out there, Tony Boswell. He said, salute Eagles Wear Boxing in the Mines. He said, I'm working and listening like always. I know you are. Take care of that cement out there. You have strange things that happen. Now, here comes a perspective that you don't even know about, or you might not remember. Tony Boswell do. I know he does. There was a heavyweight fighter. His name was Leon Spinks. He won the heavyweight championship from Muhammad Ali. And, he got a decision. He got I think it was either majority or unanimous decision. Right? And Ali wasn't taking him serious or nothing like that. He's like, I don't even have to train for this bum or whatever. It lost the championship. Leon Spinks is not in anybody's mouth. You're hearing his name today, but he's not in anybody's mouth. See? A real forgettable fighter. Now, we're going to give Sean some props later or whatever, But, yeah, I'm going to explain that also. But Ali came right back and mopped him. So, he was more or less in that category, like graduated club fighter. He didn't have a whole lot of, he never had a lot of people backing him up. He didn't have nobody backing him up during that fight. Nobody was going for him. But there's politics in fights too. So you got to be careful with these fights, man, because there's money. There's a lot of money involved with these fights. And we're not going to get on that financial side. But that entertainment side, there was a few fights. Out of all those fights, I don't know how many fights it was, maybe 10 fights. Out of all those fights, a lot of those fights that was in there, they shouldn't have happened. I'm telling you right now, they should not have happened. And even some of them that you thought should happen, they just shouldn't have happened at all. Them fights they should not, because they weren't really fights. They were more or less sparring matches, glorified or televised sparring matches. And they got, now I can see what they do, because I used to work behind the camera too. And so now they start putting, and see, when you watch a program, it puts back in perspective of what you're doing. And see, even when you're watching a fight live, that you think you're watching it live, they have a way of programming it. If you ever notice that, there's somebody in the control booth, and there's other people that tell them where to shoot the camera at a certain time. You see what I mean? And so you're going to get one perspective if you're watching it. If that doesn't make sense to anybody, then I could never make sense to you. I can't. You'll never get it. If somebody's directing somebody where to shoot here now. The camera does not stay. If you watch a boxing match, they don't keep the camera at one angle and just leave it right there. You got maybe two guys up on the corner of the ring, on each corner, and then you have a robotic arm, and on another side, then you have one up in the sky that goes around in circles. You see what I mean? You're right, Makadon. One salute to you. He said it didn't keep it long. No, he cried. Yeah, he didn't keep it. You know, that's my family there, Makadon. Horse chow, okay. Yeah. But they have, like I said, that's like have you ever heard of television programming? Even the boxing, all this stuff is programs. So they program it the way that they want to program it, see? And I have, me being in television behind the camera, I forgot all about that. You don't think about that on a daily basis when you're watching something, because you're just trying to enjoy what you're watching. But there's a lot of flaws in a lot of those fighters and people that you think are really good. If you see them in person, oh man, you would say, God dang, this dude is trash. Matter of fact, I had a guy that just subbed to me named Curtis. He just subbed to me because I told him what I was doing there at the fight. And I was asking him in between rounds also what he see. And for some of the fighters, he was shaking his head. He said, I wasn't expecting that. And we'll get into that too. We'll get into the fighters that I'm talking about. That it's just like, wow, I can't believe this fighters fight like that. He's completely trash. He's gonna get killed. And we've seen that with a lot of the fighters. We was like, oh, these fighters, they're not what they. So, because I didn't see what you guys seen, the way the angles and stuff they were showing you on TV. That's why I picked up all these clips. And we're gonna get into it, and in just a little bit, we're gonna get into it. And then we're gonna get into it even a little bit deeper. So I'm gonna tell you the one thing that EJ did that he shouldn't have done. The one thing that he did that he shouldn't have done is he shouldn't have, allowed Sean to dictate any part of that fight, or follow, or just keep doing the same thing, or keep fighting with no regard, because it can't end up catching up with him. E Woods up in there. Salute Eagles. Where boxing? There we go, baby. Yeah. Errol cannot fight everybody like that. I don't think. I mean, because it can't. The way that they dramatize it on the screen is they can cause him to lose, in which they almost did, with one of the judges seen the opposite of everybody else. But everybody that was sitting by me, even if they was Porter fans, they were calling out the rounds and stuff. And you should have all the Porter fans in my section was quiet. And then everybody just started going for Porter because he was doing this little spin around, his little spin move, and they were falling for it. But I'm gonna show you some clips of it. But we're gonna see that that shit is not effective, man. It is just not effective. And I wasn't biased when you guys already know me, because I'll smash Earl's ass up too if Earl was messing up, in which I'm already berating Earl a little bit right now, because Earl did not fight the way he needed to fight. He fought to win. I mean, he won the fight, but he did it on just his regular way. I don't care what you do. I'm gonna fight my style against your style and see who wins. And that caused him to take more punishment than he needed to take. Although it's not really from the punches. I mean, because Sean snuck some of those. He did get some of those headbutts off, which I didn't think he was going to get no headbutts off. He loaded one up. He loaded one of those headbutts up, man. Right there at the top. He loaded one of them up. I'm going to show you that. Oh, Cypress Hill's up in here. He said, salute at Eagles. Way up boxing. And salute to the brothers in the almighty LDBC. What about the sisters, man? I got girls up here. I ain't going to say their name. I just call them by like they letters and stuff. How you think about that JN? He said he's just saluting all the males. Yep. Oh, Tony Boswell down here said the same thing happened to Mentor versus Hagler. Which one you talking about, Tony? Oh, you probably can't write though. Yeah, Mentor was garbage though. Yeah, Mentor was garbage, but they hyped him. They got so mad, and he brings up a good point though, because they got so mad at Hagler being the brown skin champion. They got so mad at Hagler, man. They started throwing bottles and everything else, man, in the ring. And the crowd, like I said, man, crowds are fickle, man, at these fights, man. They just changed on Earl for no reason. Because Earl wasn't putting enough punishment on him. Earl wasn't inflicting enough punishment. You can't. If you fight that kind of if you're letting him get out, of the corner and reverse the position on you, then you can't. That takes away, even though he didn't have that momentum. You know what I mean? But that takes away from your momentum. If you guys understand what I'm saying. But that television, I urge all of you, if you get a chance to go see one of these the so-called good fights, to watch all the preliminaries. I mean, not all of them. If it's 10 fights, don't watch all 10 of them. Nobody's going to watch fights for 10 hours. That's too much watching. That's too much watching fights. But just pick and choose. Like maybe watch a fight up until like maybe the third round. And if you see that it's going to heat up, and if it looks like it's a real fight, then go ahead and watch it. But if it looks like garbage and bullshit, don't watch it, because that's what it is. It's garbage and bullshit. And I'm not going to encourage none of my guys in here to watch some garbage and bullshit. I'm just not going to encourage you guys to do that. You know what I mean? If the fight's crap, then that's what the fight is. It's just crap, and it's not going to change just because you're watching it. You know what I mean? It's not going to change. Yep. So don't watch that. Okay, I got a few of you guys in here. Let's take a look at this. Let's just see. Let's see. See if I put up the right one. Okay, you know how we do this. Now we see some of the images right here. I don't know if you guys got the images up yet. You guys throw up a one when you get the images so we can we'll go over it. Because you know they stream you guys a little bit behind me. Just want to see one. Now Cypress Hill back here. He said, "In salute to all the beautiful queens of the mighty LDBC." There you go. See? Yeah, I was gonna do interviews the other night too, but I just didn't do them. I probably should have, because I had a lot of people that they were like, "Yeah, Spence." I said, "What Spence do?" Like, okay, well I did the interviews, but when I did the interviews, I didn't record anybody. I just wanted to see what people's thoughts were on the fight and stuff like that. Asking who they went for and stuff like that. And I had people fall nuts, say, "Yeah, Spence did what he had to do," and all that. Yeah. Okay, Tony Boswell, he said 89 WBC and WBA. Yeah, that's the one I was just talking about, though. You know the one where I think that's the one you're talking about, when they're throwing all those damn bottles and shit. Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. But if you look at that first shot up top. And we see, now, if they didn't show that right there, if that wasn't a stop clip right there, then guess what people would think? They would think, because Earl's leaning back, that Sean actually did. So look how far away Earl is from that punch. And then, so the reason I want to show that one first, now look right below it. Now you see when Sean is actually connected, but which way can Earl's chin turn? Can his chin turn to the right, or is it? And look at his elbow underneath his shoulder. Is he taking some of the momentum off of it with his shoulder? You see what I mean? Is he taking some of the momentum off? So we're going to have like both of them, and now we look at right underneath there. Now when you're supposed to be at the end of the punches, now does it look like Sean is actually reaching up when he's throwing that punch? Is he sitting down on the punch? Remember we talked about sitting down on the punches? Is he sitting down on the punches? He's not sitting down on that punches. He's up on his toes. There's no power when you're up on your toes. Now let's go up to the top middle, not middle, but on the left-hand side. Let's go up there real fast. And we see that Earl is down on his punch. Sean is actually leaning into a punch. He's ducking into a right hand. See? Ducking into a right hand. You don't duck into a right hand. He's ducking right into the right hand. And then if we go down again, now we see they both kind of, Sean has his hands up. But remember I told you guys when he's in close, remember I told you his home is all messed up? Gerard Cashier, we see you in there. He said one. Okay, y'all getting it then. So we see that his hands is up. I told you that when he's at home, it's all jacked up. His hands is never right, man. You guys is just going off aggressiveness. But you're not looking at boxing stance. All the stuff that we went over, you guys aren't looking at none of that stuff. Yeah, those are live shots from the fight. And so you look at him, look at his hands, how wide they are, and Earl's like in the middle, going at him. And then on top of that, now we look at the one, there's two pictures on the right at the top. And even though Earl's hands is down, look at Sean's posture. Both his hands are parallels, nothing's up. And the way you guys are answering me right now, the stream is like way behind. But don't worry, I'll wait until you guys catch up though. Because I know you're hearing what I'm saying now. You're like, wow, look at that. Okay, so then right below that picture on the right, you see Sean just threw a wild hook and he's out of position. And Earl's about to come back with a left hook. Right? And then we look down at the bottom, the very bottom picture in the middle, and you see that's when Earl finally caught him. That's when all that wild shit, when Earl waits until the championship rounds to fight because he's a champion. But he should fight that same way all throughout the fight. He does, but he just didn't catch him. But that's when he caught him. And if you can see how ugly Sean is looking, man, when they show that replay in slow motion, and I have my binoculars on, I'm like, God dang, when he hit him with that, man, I think his lips hit my binoculars, man. When he hit him, man, his lips hit his neck. He caught him so hard. And then we look at the top right, and we see that Earl's lining him up again for a left hand. But Sean was very careful of staying away from that left hand. And he did a lot of little things. His main trick, if you guys notice, his main trick that he used was that little spin move to get Earl back out of position to slow Earl's momentum down. But what happened when he did that, he was not effective. But a lot of people thought it was effective. Oh, he's effective. Look what he's doing to Earl. Okay, look what he's doing to Earl. No, that Earl. See, the thing about Earl, that's what I'm saying. So the thing about Earl is that Earl just did not have the respect enough for Sean to care what Sean was doing. And I'm not saying it's going to catch up with him, but it can actually catch up with him. I'm not saying it will. I'm not saying 100% that it will. He just might be one of those fighters that people just can't catch up with it because he's just so overwhelming that you just can't catch up with it. And I hope you guys understand what I mean when I say that. Because most fighters, they'll catch up with you. Okay? But not being, like I said, man, the way they glamorize that on television, because once I watch it on TV, it's going to have a whole different look. A lot of these fights. But when you're there in person, you're like, wow, man, this guy is really garbage, man. I don't know how he's a champ. And I'm not going to cover one of them, but I'll just say this, man, that I'm going to tell you right now that I don't know what they fed you guys, but that David Benavidez, I'm sorry, man. He's not the goods, man. He beat Darrell, but he's not the goods, man. I even had a guy that was sitting right next to me, Curtis, who was sitting right next to me, a guy that I met. He was like, man, what the hell is this, man? His boxing stance is like an old man. I don't know what they show you on TV, man. And he cannot take no body punches. He cannot. So anybody who just has a high work rate and throws a lot of body shots is gonna get him up out of there. They're gonna get him completely up out of there. I'll see you out there, Sir Flame. Salute to you and Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens. Okay? If somebody works the body on him, they're gonna get it. He's going. Yeah. And another glorified sparring match also was the Ghost. The fight with the Ghost, Robert Guerrero. That was another glorified sparring match. Yep. There you go, Sir Flame. Sir Flame, come in. He said, jab that like button. Oh, your neck. That's right. You neck in here, man. You are neck up in here. Don Donna's up in the house, y'all. What? Huh? You want to understand something? Catch up with Don Donna. He'll break it down and let you know what's up. Him and Sir Flame, they in Eagles Wear Boxing. You know, you guys know Eagles Wear Boxing, where you get the real, not some deal. Because I don't have a contract with none of them, so I'll talk bad about every last one of them. Don Dada said, he said, caught up in that Eagles Wear Boxing. He said that thumbs up in that bell hit that. He said that fire. He said he already got the flag up. Rematch or T-Bud Crawford fighter of this decade. Okay. I'll weigh it out for you. He said Justice Porter get a chance first. Yeah, it's not going to look good for Porter. To be honest, he fought the best fight that he could have fought. He's not going to add nothing else. I'm just sorry he's not going to add nothing else. Because he's still using his old weapons. He's still using the top of his head and all that shit. He just say it ain't going to work out for him. Because Earl done figured that shit out. Now, Earl ain't going to let him bang him with that head. And then, even though that little spin move was not effective, it was not effective, man. Let's look at it some more. And hopefully you guys get these shots. Let's check it out. This is a lot. There's a lot of them right here. I had to get a lot. Sir Flame original, yeah. Yeah. They gave Sir Flame that fire. But let's check it out, though. Let's just check it out. And I'll cover them. And we're looking at boxing stances on the very first one. I don't know which one y'all got. And we're looking at a right uppercut. It was a right hook that Earl threw. And Sean's covered up like he's praying. You know how the Muslims pray? Look to position his hand in. Now, he caught Earl with one. But does anybody notice anything about that punch where he caught Earl with that right? Does anybody notice anything about the way he's standing? Remember we told you set down on punches. How you going to throw power? He's reaching up with it. And now one thing he did do, and what this is, you guys notice, Don Dada was in here when I said that Sean has to get low. Remember I told y'all moving, changing hand positions and stuff and get low. And that's exactly what he did on that clip right there. Made Earl get down low. Now he caught Earl is up. Earl's feet is straight. Now you see what happened when Earl's feet is straight. When Earl's feet is straight, then Sean caught him. Then he caught him. And now you see their feet is together a little bit. They're both, Sean is moving away from the punch. But now there he is again against the ropes and he's covering up. He's against the ropes and he's covering up. Earl just hit him with a left hand and now he's about to bang him with the right. Sean's coming back. Sean has finally got into a good position. But if you look at Earl's glove on the other side of his ear, if you notice that's the way you got to protect yourself. Look how high that hand is. And this is after that smash right here. Earl's got his hand up. If you notice that one. He's like, yeah. And so here we go right here. Now Sean is, I don't know, he's grinning and got his hands down low in defiance and stuff. And see, all that's trickery, man. That's not going to win you no fight. Earl is more or less knocking it down, and now Earl lands the right hand. So he lands the right jab. But Sean is ducking down. He's doing that ducking and tucking stuff. And I don't know why Earl should have been a lot more ready for it. And there it is again. Sean's, glove on the ground. And he's touching the ground, and Earl looking over at the corner like what? And smiling and grinning. And then there's Sean with his work inside. Earl is trapping the arm. If you guys notice how Earl is trapping that arm, I told you I was gonna have a lot of shots, man. Sean's kind of still he's not in a good boxing stance, even though he's throwing those punches. And then the next slide, we see that Sean did a nice little dirty trick. He got his elbow on top of Earl's head, and then Earl ends up hitting him low. And because he's, like I said, he's using those old tricks. And then, of course, there again, Sean throwing a left hand way outside. And Earl's right hand is a little bit too low. But he probably can still get a hook off in that position. And then here, here's the one. Here's the shot. This is before the eye got messed up on Earl underneath his cheek. This is Sean rearing back, ready to charge forward. He's not in no position to throw no punches. This is a wide punch, but he is in position at all times to throw that head. If you guys are noticing his head, if you guys notice his head, Earl's head is always straight. Always straight up and down every once in a while. But Sean's head is always in the ducking. I'm going to come up and smash you with my head position. If you guys are noticing that. And that's why he has those cornrows also. Don't think I missed nothing, man. He got those cornrows on because you can't smash nobody with your hair long like you have it. With the afro, you can't smash nobody. You can't headbutt nobody with the top of your head. You can only catch him with foreheads. That's all you can catch him with. And there he is again, looking crazy and all in a wide stance. Earl's loading up with the right. His hands down a little bit to the waist, and then Sean is showing y'all his ass. He's bent way, way down. Look at his gloves. He's bent way, way, way down. And that's what that was the keys to what I told you guys. If you guys was watching my live, I told you that he's gonna have to be low, do his dirty shit. And he did everything that I thought he was gonna do. But the one wrinkle that he added is he added that little spin out. I'm gonna spin out. Yep. I'm gonna spin out. Oh no, Sir Flame. He said, let me see. Gil Cole said I enjoyed the whole fight card. Gil Cole, you probably didn't see the whole fight card. Did you see the last fight? Did you know it was a fight after their fight? If you watched my live after that, you guys seen boxing in the background when I'm down there on the floor. Deontay Wilder was doing interviews way on the other side. I didn't go over there. But yeah, there was other fights, man. There was a lot of fights, man. It was too many fights. I didn't know it was that damn many fights because I don't even think they advertised all those. But anyway, I'll get back into the chat and then I'll get back in here. But if you see, Sean is always waist high. And when he got in close, he raises up. And that's why those punches wasn't able, that's why he was only able to land a couple of punches that was actually effective, that Earl actually felt. Because it's just because of the way his position, his head is always down. And he has to clean that up. And what Earl didn't do, one thing, he did not take advantage of his uppercut as much. He did not. And Earl got to take advantage of that. When somebody's leaning over like that, they're looking to get knocked the hell out. Like I told you, the style was kind of dangerous. I told him he had to do that Joe Frazier type of style, that Frazier, get you hazy. But you got to do that. But he wasn't able to do that as well. I mean, because he's not Frazier, so he can't do it as good as Frazier. And he's not moving his arms and stuff to just in case something's coming in or just changing his look. Remember I told you guys, I said he has to change his look, but still, even though he's coming forward, he still got to change his look. Okay, you guys got my chat going up. Let me check it out now. Okay, caught up. Okay, Sir Flame original. That's right. Plant. He said, Plant gonna wash him. Yeah. Well, we got to see. For me, I got to see everything. I'm tired of just. As a matter of fact, now I done messed myself up by going to that fight. Now I got to go to fights again. I can't rely on television no more because television glorifies it and gets people twisted up. Because a lot of people, even in the arena, they're watching the damn screen. They're not watching the fight. But then, like I said, I'm close to the fight. And at the same time, I got my binoculars on. So I'm looking over their shoulder. Like I said, I can see their breath. Like I'm so close, it's like they can almost spit in my face. That's how close I made myself in that fight. Because I wanted to make sure that I got all these positions, like the footwork and all that stuff. I wanted to make sure I see it. So when I report it to you guys, I can tell you what I saw. Not something that the camera gave me. And so it's hard to call. Like if you watch a fight like on television, it's hard to call. And I wasn't really realizing it as much because I thought they was giving us the best shots. They don't give you the best shots on television. Especially if they would really want to make a fighter looks good. The fighter look good that doesn't look good, then believe me, that director can tell them to do whatever they want to with those cameras. Oh, go to camera one. And they say, you can't hear him say it. You can't hear him say it. Okay, Eat Wood said, I'm at work. Okay, no frowny faces today, right? He said, I'm at work, y'all. But y'all, he said, I'm still in here, though. Yep. And Eat Wood, and then he said, Shy City, stand up, asked Sir Flame. Salute. Then Sir Flame was at Gil Coles. He's saluting Gil Coles out. Cook County. Oh, no. Not Cook County Jail, though, right? He said, Cook County represent Eat Woodson. He said, salute, fam. And then Gil Coles at Don Dollar, salute. And then he got the line up there. He's got LDBC boxing family 100. And then we back in there with Don Dada. Don Dada says Porter got hit jumping into a hook. His glove touching the. He said his glove touching. He said the fight, yeah. He said he got his thumbs up and stuff. He said okay. He says he said on that money. Yep, he's on the money. There you go. So everybody know I'm not gonna call it wrong, man. Cause I'm gonna look. I was right there, man. I was in the ring with him. Believe me, y'all. I didn't want to be in the ring with him because I rather, I want to go to a fight and just act ignorant like everybody else and just like stand up and all that. I didn't get a chance to do all that until like the last round 11. Only time I really got to stand up, But mostly I was sitting on my ass like a mad. Even though you guys know I don't like science, I was like a damn scientist in there, man. And then Cypress Hill back in his Eagles Web. You think EJ had too many low blows on Sean, or you think Sean's shorts were high? Now his shorts was high. If he would have had low blows, he would have complained. That foul-proof protector was doing what it's supposed to. But then if you got to pay attention. If you could see one of the headbutts right here, the one that got Earl. But Sean was loading up with headbutts, man. He's too low. He was too low, so that's why he get hit low. But he loading up that damn head, man. I don't even know if they showed y'all that, but he's loading up that big head of his. But you see, I got a lot of shots with him with his head down. He loading up the head. His hands ain't even in punching position. Look at his hands parallel to the ground, man. He's not even in punching position. He's loading up his head every time he get a chance, man. Then he throws some little light punches. After he spin around Earl, he starts throwing a lot of little light punches that ain't doing nothing. You said he got a big forehead but clean fight for Porter. It surprised me. Sir Flame, you asleep, man. You ain't watched the fight, man. Sean always loading up that head, man. They might have gave you look at these pictures. Don't you see one of them I showed you on one of the clips? You could see his head. You could see the head butt on one of them. That you actually see the head butt. And then on the rest of them, you can see him loading up that head. He loading up. He's only up high every once in a while. And when he's up high, there's no punching power because he's standing straight. There's no punching power when you stand straight. It was another fighter that was doing that same straight shit with no power. Yeah. And Don Dada at E Wood. He said 100% working in that in chat. Salute. He says salute, fam. He said got the bears and the arrow. That's good. So I'll take the arrows, but the bear, you can take him. Gil Cole said I watched the fight card I paid for. Yeah. Yeah, I know, but they didn't show all the fights though. Because the cameras wasn't even there when some of the fights started. The certain cameras was there, but the main cameras wasn't even there. So if you caught those early ones, you had to catch those probably on a stream or something like that. Yeah, because they don't show 10 fights on pay-per-view. They don't show that many fights. That's too many. Then Don Dada out there, and then Sir Flame Spence said he was surprised that Porter was gassed. All about that body shot killed the head, body will follow. Yeah, he was. If you guys heard my live call when I replayed it, he was dead. He has some recovery powers though, Sean. Because I was getting scared. I said, "Oh shit, Earl gonna knock his ass out." And that's real. That's on. I'm like, "Oh man, Sean gonna get knocked out." And everybody that was over in my section, they was thinking the same thing. They said, "Oh man, when he got to that 6, he was dead." I'm like, "Oh, he's about to get killed." But then he recovered though. He recovered good. And he started using that little low movement and that like coming up with that head and stuff like that, and once Earl started punishing him, he got out the corner and made it seem like he was doing something. The key word that I'm using right here, understand what I'm saying, my people in Eagles Web Boxing. He made it appear like he was doing something. None of that shit was effective, man. Even though he switched the position, none of it was effective. The thing that was effective about it was that it slowed Earl down. So that was a good thing. It worked out good for him because it slowed Earl down. So where Earl had to like more or less like get started again. So he let Sean kind of overwhelm him, and people in the crowd went all crazy. Oh yeah. But no, it wasn't. It just wasn't effective. Yeah, I put a comment on the Expert Geniuses page. Yeah, we talked about it. He was like, yeah. He said, but Earl, and he said that even if it wasn't effective, he said that he was doing it. And I was like, yeah, he's right. Even though he was not effective, he was still doing it. But then my closing point was that Earl don't give a shit about these fighters, man. He just don't care what you do. The head button, the wild swinging, the switching me around. Earl doesn't care. But see, some fights he should have cared. Not even in this fight, he should have cared more about it. And he should have been like, you know what, I'm not going to let him do that no more. Derek James should have told him, don't let him do that no more. No more of that spinning out the corner shit. Because he's taking your momentum away. And I'm surprised that they didn't see that. You got to be able to see that. You know, that they're just taking your momentum. He's not really doing shit to hurt you, but he's taking your momentum away. And you can see that Earl was feeling good, though, because Earl was dancing in the corner, you know. Around, what's that, 10th round? He dancing his ass off. Don Dada say 3-1-2. He says, salute Eagles Way of Boxing. Then he got my Eagle up there. Then Sir Flame of Eagles Way of Boxing. That's his position to throw that looping right. Yeah, he got one of those off. It was funny though, because if you noticed that he threw that looping punch, but guess what? Earl threw one too. Earl said, "You throwing that shit? I'm gonna throw one." He was just showing it, but you know what? He didn't match dirtiness with dirtiness. Even though everybody thought it was like a countless number of low blows. You can't help that when you got to bend over sometime to get somebody, and then they're bent over even more. Sometimes they're gonna come out low, but none of them was like telling shots. There's certain parts on that foul-proof protector. There's certain spots that you can hit on there that will take your wind away, or will send that little tingle. If anybody ever been hit low, they know what I'm talking about. That will send that little sensation to make you fold over. There's certain spots on that foul-proof protector that you can hit, and it will make you fold over like that. But there's certain spots that you're not going to fold over. Okay, let's get back into these slides just a little bit because I'm caught up with most of y'all. Yeah. And then we see Sean again smiling and then not in no kind of boxing stance or nothing like that. Earl's blocking his left hand. I was trying to wait for this one slide to come up so you guys can actually see the head, but there he is. Sean's loading up for his headbutt. Or who was that overhand. So he's, yeah, that overhand that's I think was that you, Sir Flame was saying? Yeah, Sir Flame was saying, yeah. He's loading up for that overhand. But Earl should have been concentrating on catching him with them hooks, them uppercuts and hooks. He should have been concentrating more on that, and then the fight would have been a lot cleaner for him. It would have been a lot cleaner for him, if you guys understand what I mean. It would have been a lot cleaner for him. Because Sean always makes the fight dirty. He makes it dirty. He makes you uncomfortable. And he just makes it to where you're just not going to look. I don't see anybody ever looking good against Sean. Because we don't have a Tommy Hearns type of fighter right now in welterweight. If we had a Tommy Hearns type of fighter, with a chin that was actually a good fighter, then we wouldn't have this same conversation. Because that mauling brawling don't work on somebody with extra long arms. When somebody got a 76-inch reach and can really bang and keep you on the outside and got that decent jab, you know, you're gonna get it. You're gonna taste that damn canvas. It's just a matter of time of when you're gonna taste the canvas. But that canvas is gonna be your friend at one point. Yeah, and then there we go. Sean is out. He's taking a punch, got his arm down, got his left arm down, and then here we go. We see him again. He's loading up. That might be the same shot afterwards where you guys seen where that head actually hit Earl in the cheek. That might have been that shot because you see Earl's hand is going over his back, and then Sean is like I said, he's loading up that head, man. But they don't show you all that. When you see the fight, sometimes you might miss that because they changed the damn camera angle on you. And once they change the camera angle, you're not seeing everything. But I was at like maybe 30 degrees, like something like that, 35 degrees from the fight. My angle, I had a great angle. And then with those binoculars, I could see all the. It's a whole different look, man. It's not in 2D. It's just a whole different look when you get to look at everything you want to. You see what I mean? When you're watching on TV, you don't get to see everything you want to. That's the key. And I got to start looking at fights at different. If I look at it from one forum, I got to look at it at another forum so I can see more stuff. You do have to see more stuff. I'm not saying that look at it from a different, a 180 degrees different, yeah. But look at it from a different outlet. Try to find the fight from a different outlet, you know. Because they might have, when they was doing the fight, they might have looked at it, different from another station. They might have looked at it different. And you guys don't get all that because I got to see what I wanted to. Stuff that I wanted to look at, like if there was a lull in the fight, like if they weren't fighting, I could look at certain stuff. Like I could look at them breathing, like real close up. I get close up. I can look at the feet and see how many times their feet get tangled up. And then I can look at a lot of different things. And I can look at the effectiveness of Sean Porter's punches more because I can, if I wanted to just look at the effectiveness of just his punches for one round, and I didn't want to look at Earl, I could just look at that. Where if you're watching a programming, then you can't look for that. You can look for it, but you're not going to see everything because they're going to keep switching up that angles. Man, so I told you I had a lot of slides, man. We still haven't got to that one where Sean, I want to read these comments, but we haven't got to the one where you can actually see it, where Sean loaded up that head. At any position, you can see that Sean is always loading up that head and shoulders. He almost got one of those, man, we was talking about that overhand elbow. He almost got one of them overhand elbows off, man. He almost got one off. I'm like, damn, man. Or maybe, I don't know. He might have got one of those overhand elbows off, man. The overhand. Earl, you got to show more respect, man. Earl don't care about nobody, but Earl got to care a little bit more because that'll help him stay in the fight game longer too, though. All the total disrespect for other fighters, man. Some of these fighters do got heart, man. And Sean showed he showed more heart than I thought he was going to show with that suspect personality shit that he was showing us. I didn't think he was going to show as much heart, but he showed a lot of determination and a lot of heart. But he just don't have it, y'all. He don't have it enough to beat Earl. But any other welterweight, I think, if he fought like that and with the tenacity that he fought with, he would have won. He would have won. He just ain't gonna beat Earl. He'll beat a lot of welterweights, but he's just not gonna beat Earl. Styles make fights, and he just ain't gonna beat Earl. And Earl cleans up all that little mess. He'll make it. Like I said, if he just concentrate on letting Sean run into something, let's let Sean run into it, and just and get those uppercuts off of them hooks. Cause that left hand that he hit Sean with, I'm not lying, man. It looks even worse on that huge screen, man. But when I seen it, I'm like, damn, man, he hit Sean so hard. So Sean does, even though Sean went down, he got a chin. But he hit him so hard, man, his lips touched his neck, man. His lips hit the back of his neck, man. Earl hit him with a shot. Now, that's a shot what they call, that's heard around the world right there. Yep. And then, okay, Cypress Hill in there. He's at Don Dada. Yeah, okay. Then Don Dada. He said short. He said, get low blows. How many times I have to get hit before you foul? Yeah. Well, a foul is like when you could tell a foul because it's in the fighter's eye. If the fighter's not looking, it's hard to call. You can call a foul, but you see fighters sometimes where they actually looking. They looking for that spot. They looking down and bam, they hit you right in the middle, right in the middle. But all around that belt with them high ass shorts. All around the belt, they just barely, they're not going to call that. Because you guys see where the belly button is? If you see a lot of fighters, their trunks are actually below the belly button. And when you pull the damn trunks up, and you see that's a good shot where Sean's looking crazy with his arms wide. Look how high that is. You got, in your abdominal muscles, you got like 6 to 8 that show up, and he has them all the way up in the middle, like close to like the second row of abs, the second row of abdominals from the top of the ribs. If you look at it, they way above there, man, way above the Adonis belt. Oh, I mean, like way up there. They're damn near touching his sternum, man. Speaking on Sean's shorts. Harold Jones, see you up in here. He said, "Afternoon, King." Yeah, but if you see that, then you'll know that's too high, man. But people, you can't complain about that. If the fighter's not complaining, I don't care what the trainer does. But if the fighter's not complaining, I'm trying to get you guys to look at this and understand the effectiveness of anything that he's landing. When you're standing up straight, there's no power. His most powerful punch that he threw was that freaking overhand that he landed in that head. The headbutt. The headbutt is the hardest thing that he landed in the fight. He stands up too straight when he fights a tall fighter. He don't stay low. He stays low to get out of trouble. But when he's not sitting down on his punches, that's what you guys got to understand. He's not sitting down on his punches. Don Dada said, he said, chill. He said, see here. All day. He said, till this day. Yeah, till this day, till this day. And then E. Wood over there, he said, what's good, bro? Salute. And then Macadon One's back in. He said, yeah, if he threw more uppercuts, he would have won more conventionally. That's what I'm saying, Macadon One. People's not understanding that, man. Just think about how long it took before he finally realized that I need to throw this left. I need to get this left hand off clean. What happened as soon as he got that left hand off clean? As soon as he got that left hand off clean, Sean was on the canvas. As soon as he got it off clean. Like, that was a hard ass shot though, man. Like I said, man, his lips kissed the back of his damn neck, man. That was a hard shot, man. He made his lips look, man, he made his lips look like a cartoon. He made his lips look like a cartoon, man. Y'all check it out. Let me show it to you again. Look at it. I'll leave it up so you can see it. Look at the bottom. And that's right when the punch landed. Look how wide his mouth is on the side of that mouthpiece, man. His mouthpiece is about to fall out. And then look at his hands. Not blocking, he just folded. He's just bent over like I said, disrespect, bent over like in position to headbutt. God dang, man, he got... Earl would have put that on him a lot. That would have been it. That the fight would have been over with. But I'm happy we didn't see that. But then after hearing a lot of the comments, I kind of feel like maybe we needed to see that. Maybe we needed to see him go to sleep. But because of him being the warrior that he is, man, I wouldn't. Now I still, even though people got the fight messed up, I still wouldn't have wanted Sean to go in there and get bodied like that. He could have easily got bodied, believe me. But Earl just wasn't caring. I don't care what happens. I'm going to catch you eventually. Which he did catch him, but he could have caught him a lot more. He should have just been going for the left hand. Like, not letting him, I'm not going to let you get away from these hooks. You know what I mean? I changed my fight. You doing that dumb shit? I'm not going to let you get away from these hooks and then land one of them uppercuts. The Cypress Hill's in there again. He said, oh no, but from my TV, it looked like Sean got hit low one too many times. Them testicles got to be screaming today. I don't think EJ meant it, but it is what it is. Yeah. He got some of them off, but I'm telling you, Sean makes himself get hit low. A lot of fighters that fight low, they make themselves get hit low. That's why he wasn't complaining. Because if you get hit low and it's really low, you gonna go down on one knee and tell the ref. You gonna spit your mouthpiece out, or you gonna make sure the ref know it was low. You know what I mean? And the ref's right there to call it. But I see a lot of fighters that bend over like that. They end up getting hit low. It's like, man, stop bending over like that. Don Dada back in there was clowning and shit. Don Dada. He said 4 fouls in baseball. He said, you get a boxing 5 before you warrant. He said, oh my goodness. Porter want more babies, yeah. Porter might want more babies, but he's protected. He's protected. And then Sir Flame back in there saying the right thing. He said, jab that like button on your way in or out. Oh, I thought, man, I read it loud like that. I thought you was going to put, are you neck? And then Cypress Hill crying, rolling on the ground. And then there we go, Sir Flame. There we go. Now he's back in there. And Sir Flame back in there. Sir Flame said, he said his lips touched his neck. Yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm right there, man. His lips touched his neck, man. That was a hard shot, man. So we know he got a chin. I mean, he got a chin. He still went down from it, but you got to have a chin to get that, man. Yep. Yeah, then Dada said 4 lower blows. He earned head, but cut. Yeah. But you will see there's another. See now, here's the thing right here. Now if this is the position on that, think about this now. So he's landing low blows, but they're not bothering Sean. I guarantee you that damn headbutt bothered Earl. Even though he wasn't wiping at it or touching it or nothing like that. You see what that did to his cheek, man. It wasn't like, I've seen cheeks swell way bigger than that. It's because Earl got like a small face. But I've seen people get hit with that head in the cheek, and they cheek be like so swollen and eye closed and everything else. It was big. It looked big on his head because he come in slim. But damn, that was a hard headbutt, man. That's a hard headbutt. Sean loads up those headbutts. He load them headbutts up. I tell you what, I'd rather take the low blow and take my count. If I really did get hit, or take some low blows that's not bothering me, than to take a hard ass headbutt from Sean. And who don't think Sean got a hard ass head from headbutting people all the time? Huh? You don't think he done some nerve damage up there? Yeah, I gotta read that again, Sir Flame. He said his lips touched his neck. He laughing there. I just had to read that again. This is funny because I thought that shit was fun. Like I said, if Earl food, he must be a vegetarian. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you think? Yeah. If you think that Jay Cooley, but a lot of people think, yeah, they gonna think that about Earl. But like I said, man, Earl just don't give a shit about you. So, and Sean still couldn't make Earl give a shit. That's what people not understanding. If you're not making Earl give a shit about you, then you in trouble. I see you out there, Mr. Sheldon. But I'm saying, man, you in trouble if Earl just don't give a shit about you. He don't care about your punching power. If he don't care about you. And that's what fighters are thinking. Oh, yeah, if Sean did that, you're not Sean. You're not built like that. Sean is built like a little bitty tank, man. And he's used to throwing elbows and headbutts and shit like that. Everybody's talking about the low blows, but look at the punch right there. When he has his hand in back of Earl's head, you can't help but hit him low. He did that shit a lot, man. All the elbowing and trying to push Earl down and holding and shit. He just didn't do it to the extent that. That's why everybody thinks that it was a clean fight, because he didn't hold Earl as much as he usually holds. And that's why everybody's hollering about this clean. It was a clean fight for Sean. No, he didn't have to, because that little spin shit that he was doing that wasn't effective, that he was allowed to get away. He didn't have to throw as many headbutts. He didn't have to throw as many overhand elbows. He didn't have to throw as many overhand rights, because he made it appear like he was actually doing something. And that's what people is just not getting. He was making it appear like he was doing something. That shit is not effective when you standing up throwing punches. When you standing up straight throwing those punches, this shit is just not. You're not getting nobody's attention with that shit. And if people think Earl's going to be easy, put their ass in there. Let's see it. If you think Earl's going to be easy, get your ass in there with him. Earl just don't give a shit about none of you welterweights. I'm telling you, Earl don't care about you. But we do need to see where Earl cares about somebody, where Earl has to change. But so far, nobody's making him change. Even with that rough-ass fight with Sean, nobody's making him change. He's like, I don't give a damn what you do. It's man down season. I'm winning this fight regardless. I don't care how much I win it by, or what the crowd say. That's why his hands was raised even when the decision, before they called out the last scorecard, Earl's hand was raised. Sean knew he lost the fight. His hands wasn't raised. If a fighter think he won the fight, don't he raise his hands? Y'all stop getting that shit all twisted up, man. Sean knew he lost that fight. He was happy to make it through that damn fight. Believe me, he was happy to make it through the fight. He was happy that he didn't take more of those damn left hooks. Believe me. Because once he felt that, all his confidence, he lost all his confidence. People say, oh, he came back strong. He didn't come back strong. Just think about this. As powerful as that shot was, think if Sean took 4 of those during that fight. And if Earl gets you hurt at the right time, he was going to take more of those. It would have been we would have a whole different conversation right now. A whole different conversation. Let's go down here and see. Don Dada says his shorts. He said, hi. I think you mean his. He said, hi. He says, shorts, horses, shat. Oh, man, you can't write Don Dada. You got to read. You got to write that again, man. And yes, you were saying his shot was just short or something like that. High shorts, horses, shat, and then palm tree. What the F is that, man? Yeah, Mr. Sheldon. He hit Porter low a few times. I don't think it was intentional. Of course, when we talked about that, Mr. Sheldon, what happens is he's all bent over and shit. And then he got his hand on Sean. He got his hand on Earl's neck a lot of the times. It's different when you watch it on television too, though. Because they're going to do replays on it. They're going to replay it over and over and shit. Even if the fighter didn't even care about it, they're going to just keep showing it. And that's like putting that image in your mind where you see it. But did they show when the headbutts over and over again? I bet they didn't show the headbutt one time. Y'all watched it on TV. Did anybody see the headbutts? Did they replay the headbutts on TV over and over again? Or the elbows on back of the head? Or Earl getting hit in back of the head and back of the neck? Rabbit punches are worse than low blows. Believe it or not, because you're hitting somebody in their spine, basically. A rabbit punch, that's why they're not allowed. Sean threw a lot of rabbit punches, and Earl, just like I said, Earl is just a fighter just don't care. He has to fight a fighter that makes him care about it. If he's not going to fight anybody who makes him care, then nobody's going to beat him. If that makes sense to anybody. If he doesn't fight somebody that makes him care, then you're just in trouble. If he don't care about you, you're not going to win. If Earl don't care about what you're bringing, then you're just not going to win the fight. I don't give a shit what you bring. Just like Earl said. Earl said, I don't care what you bring. I don't care what you bring. I would like to see it now. I see you down at the bottom, but let me get in here. Donna said, you neck. That's right. You neck. Get in here. You neck. Yep. And then, Mr. Sheldon said, he threw, he knew he lost. I agree. Yeah. Yep. Great fight, though. It's still fight of the year, though, for me. I'm sorry. I mean, the Wilder fight is hands down just like, that's too much. It's a fight. It's the knockout of the year, but this is the fight of the year right here. And AJ just steps up and does something phenomenal with Ruiz. Or we got a few good fights that's coming up. But I'm glad somebody finally is agreeing, and Mr. Sheldon is the only one that's understanding what I'm saying, because he's the only one that's actually responding, because I was there at the damn fight, and he's saying, no, they didn't keep showing that shit over and over. They wasn't showing those headbutts and shit like that. They wasn't showing the hand on the back of the neck, and they wasn't showing all those damn rabbit punches. Man, rabbit punches can knock your ass out, man, or mess your damn neck. It's like getting whiplash, man, getting hit in the back of the, by a professional fighter. You getting hit behind the neck. Yep. Yeah, we know. Okay, Mr. Sheldon. Yeah, I always tell my chat. I said BFTV comes on. We run a little short, but he's usually shouting people out early. Yeah, but we'll close it down. But I just wanted to, soon, not right away, because I still keep some of my people still like to mess with the Eagles web. So we talk about it. Like I said, the fight was a great fight. It was probably it's probably gonna win. It's gonna be probably fight of the year. Yeah, it was good, and it was good that Sean was able to add those few little elements as you see the headbutt right there, as you see Earl trying to land one of those he's landing the right hand, as you see, and Sean is elbowing him in the face. See, and that wasn't even the bad elbow right there. The one that you see right there, that wasn't even, not elbow, but the headbutt. That wasn't even the bad headbutt. There was a worse headbutt than there. Yep, that was a worse headbutt than there. But we'll go over it once I can collect some more, but I think I probably covered it enough. I mean, even by talking about the fighters themselves, talking about Sean not even raising his hands up because he knew it was over with. All Sean wanted to do is prove that he can bring Earl his hardest fight. And he's thinking that's his hardest fight, that I'm going to fight him real hard as I can. I'm going to add some stuff. I'm going to war up, and I'm going to go in there and fight hard as I want. But that's not, if anybody understands what I'm saying, that's not really a championship mentality. That's like a survival mentality. Champions don't have that kind of mentality. They actually come in with a plan to actually win, not just to show that I can hang in there. Mikey did that shit. Sean didn't do it like Mikey. He did fight. I'm not saying he didn't fight. He made it a category for like fight of the year. Mikey just folded the hell up. But did you come to just really win though? You got to come to win. Don't just bring your ass in there. Sebastian, I see you up in there. Whatever IP 2 and 2TD, if that's your whole name, yeah. He said Danny a bum. Yeah, I know, but Danny's just talking a lot of shit. Either one of them is going to knock Danny's ass out. Yep. Yeah. Don in there said dropping the belts for J-Rock. Chicken move, and he crying. I don't know who you're talking about. If somebody actually really did drop their belts for J-Rock. And who wants to fight J-Rock right now? J-Rock who J-Rock need to be fighting? He need to be fighting Laura right now. They got to concentrate. These divisions got to concentrate on people that's in their division. But Don, Sean he's not gonna beat Earl. He can't. Because Earl's not stupid, man. Don't you think Earl's gonna look and see what the hell he did that was effective? So what do you think he's gonna do if they fight again? If he looks at the shit he did that was effective. If Sean looks at the stuff that he did that was effective, it was that little fake spin move. That was effective, but at the same time, it's not effective if you're not landing hard shots. And headbutts and overhands. That was effective. Think about it. If Earl concentrated on those things that was effective, he's going to knock Sean the hell out. Now, Sean will get knocked out, man. Somebody hit you hard enough to where your lips hit the back of your neck. You took a shot. And I gave Sean his credit. I give Sean a whole lot of credit for just doing what he did. Because he did make it he made it a hard fight with Earl. And I told y'all from the beginning. I told you how the fight was, what had to happen. And I'm glad that it was one person in here that actually understood and said, yeah, facts. They said that, and that was on my last chat. They said, yeah, you did call it. He said, you called it right on time. Because I said, if Sean makes it look like something, that they're going to try to give it to him. But all those judges weren't on the same page. I called the fight the same way those other two judges called it. But Sean, the other two judges wasn't on the same page. Because you see somebody gave it to Sean. You see that's what made it a split. It shouldn't have been a split. Earl won the fight. Even Sean know he won the fight. I'm surprised that those words even came out of his mouth. Those that came out of his mouth, oh, it was a split decision. You know it wasn't no damn split decision. Did he sound like he was so confident? He talking about rematch. But he's talking about rematch, but what you gonna do in the rematch? Are we just rematching just so you can do all that, so you can headbutt me some more or whatever? Or so you can hit me with some more rabbit punches or overhands? Or are you really gonna bring the real dog to win? Not just to survive and look good a little bit. Are you gonna bring enough tools to actually win? I know Sean don't have enough tools to win. He don't have enough tools to win, y'all. He does not, man. I try to teach y'all the real, man. I don't care what any other chats teach y'all. I teach y'all the real, man. I was right there, man. I'm not taking away from you because you watched it on TV, but I used to work in television. Matter of fact, I can still go back to one of the stations and be behind the camera. You know, it's like it's a real station. But the thing is, the station is for volunteers and stuff like that. But it's an actual cable station. I can go and I know how they do in those control rooms. How they tell you, okay, when they want to switch cameras and stuff like that, they make it into a production. That's why they call it a production. But like I said, man, Sean he's not gonna just gain enough. And Cypress Hill's in there. He said, I agree. All credit to Spence for overcoming Sean's style. But Danny, he got his question mark. I think Spence has too much momentum to be taking a step back with Danny. I don't think he should fight Danny. I don't think that fight's gonna sell that good. It's not gonna sell because everybody knows that Danny's gonna get his ass whooped. You know what I mean? He's gonna get his ass whooped by Earl. That's not good. It's not a good fight. Earl just keep fighting who he got to fight. Go fight, Manny. Get your straps. Because you said a strap, see, just go get your straps. I wouldn't say to do anything that anybody says. Get your straps, and then if you want to fight Sean again, then fight Sean. Manny Pacquiao, stand up, fight Earl, lose your strap, and then he can go back and fight Sean again if he wants to. If he wants to suffer from some headbutts and shit like that, or just vacate those belts and just move up and let Sean fight the rest of them it's going to be a mess once Earl leave. I hope y'all know that. Y'all might not understand that, but when Earl leave like that, it's gonna be a mess down there, man. Cause who you guys really gonna want to see fight? Nobody's interested in fighting Bud. All them other fights, Sean ain't interested. Nobody's interested in fighting Bud, man. But Bud's still in the conversation. Bud screwed his own self, but he's still in that conversation, man. But if Earl leave, man, nobody's looking at the big picture. If Manny allows Earl to fight, and he gets that damn fight with Manny, then the welterweights is over with. If he decides not to fight Sean and move up, it's over with, man. You going watch who's going to be the pay-per-view sellout king if Earl goes up to 154. Somebody explain to me. I want to see somebody explain that one to me. If Earl gets that next belt, he don't need that damn WBO belt. That's nothing. He's unified with the once he gets the WBA, that's unified. You don't need that damn WBOs. So somebody tell me. I just want somebody to let me know before I get out of here and before I let y'all go. Somebody let me know that when Earl moves up and gets out of that welterweight division, who's going to be the sellout king then? Or who's going to be the main guy? Is it going to be Sean? Are you guys going to pay to watch Sean fight Danny again? Are you going to pay to watch him fight Keith? Is that pay-per-view? Somebody let me know, man. I know I got some people in here. Let me know if any of those fights are pay-per-view. Is Sean Danny pay-per-view? Is Sean Keith pay-per-view? And I'm saying that if Spence fights Manny and gets that belt, then how many pay-per-views are we going to have in welterweight left? I want somebody, it's Ugas and Porter. Is that pay-per-view? Ugas and Danny. Is that pay-per-view? See? Earl is keeping this damn division together, man, but a lot of people just ain't seeing it. Earl's keeping this damn division together by not giving a shit about nobody that he fights. And that's facts. And y'all can say it any way you want to say it. If you want to think another way, let me know. That's why it's a chat. That's why this is a chat room. This is Eagles Way of Boxing, but it's still a chat. And that's why I be wanting other people's perspective. I want to hear from somebody to let me know. And Don Dada's in there. He said, Eagles Way of Boxing. He said, he said, keep teaching. He said, y'all hit that bell. Y'all hit that bell. So y'all can learn, man. In here, I teach boxing. And I was going to do a video down there also when I was in LA. I didn't get a chance to do it, man. But the principal left, man. But I ran into another guy. He wants me to go back down there. So maybe I'll go back down there. He's actually a wrestler. But I just wanted to get some boxing techniques out in some videos and stuff so everybody can catch on to some boxing techniques and stuff like that. And then maybe everybody will be able to see. Everybody will be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. And then Dada and he in there with the face and stuff. He said nobody rematched Porter. And what's the reason, Don Dada? I'm gonna give you a few seconds to come up with the reason that they don't rematch Porter. Just tell me why they don't rematch Porter. They're not scared of Porter, but why don't they rematch him? I'm gonna give you 10 more seconds. I'm counting. I'm giving you the mandatory count to determine if somebody's out. I gotta let you see it. Let me see. Cause you're gonna end up with more. You're gonna end up with more seconds now that I let you see it. How they do this? Yeah. Okay, so now you're out. Now the reason they do that, the reason they don't rematch him, is because they don't look good against him. Win, lose, or draw, they just don't look good against him. But I ask you this question: did Kell Brook turn him down for a rematch? Or why didn't he go back and get that strap? I'm gonna leave y'all with that question. Why didn't he go back and get that strap? Right? Should have went back and got that strap. Don't let somebody else go get the strap.